Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Wayne Morris with WHHI TV.
And I'm your host, Carrie Manning from the Village Spa.
And today we are at the Art Barn on Spring Island, and we are going to be talking about art a lot this show. We're also going to have a real estate feature.
So our first guest is Mrs. Lark Smith. She's the Finance Committee Chair of the Nature and Arts Committee of Spring Island Trust. She's here to tell us all about how the Art Committee got started and all that it entails and all the things that they do.
And our second guest is Miss Allison Crossman. She is the Clay Group Coordinator, working with the kilns and the clays and all in the art department. So she's going to tell us about a special day they have that's just for clay. So she's going to tell us all about that.
And then last but not least, we have Mr. John Strother. He is the broker in charge out here on Spring Island with Spring Island Realty. He is going to highlight two amazing properties for us, so make sure that you stay tuned for that.
And we'll be right back with 843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
843 TV, where Bluffton comes to speak.
Where Spring Island comes to speak.
Where the town of Hilton Head Island comes to speak. Where Port Royal comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
Welcome to 843 TV. We're here this morning with Mrs. Lark Smith. She is the Finance Committee Chair of the Nature and Arts Committee here on beautiful Spring Island. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Pretty good. So tell everybody a little bit, how did this art program get started here on Spring Island?
Well, it's actually really interesting. The developers in the early 90s when they were working on it, one of them, his name is Betsy Chafin, and she is an artist herself. And she felt it was really important for Spring Island to have a real sense of community. And as an artist, she felt like arts have to be part of that.
Idea.
I mean, they just have to be part of that. So she did that, and early on she would just invite wonderful artists that she knew from around the country to come as visiting artists, just to have a retreat and be here on the island and enjoy and feel the sense of place that it was.
So Lark, is an active arts program important to a community like ours?
I think it really is, Allison. As you know, you and I are both really involved. I think the active arts community here is what differentiates us from all the other communities in the area. It really does. And we have on the island, as you know, about 100 artists who actually actively participate in some form of the arts, whether it's clay like you and I, or whether it's painting or wood carving. We have many people, but we also have all these people who are just simply interested in the arts. They're appreciators, and the important thing is that they understand that art makes life richer.
Yeah, and we come here every month to do the show, and we always talk about, God, this is such a nice place to live. There's so many great communities, but Spring Island does have so many things that differentiate.
Yeah.
And you know, as we're walking, we took a tour earlier. You're right; it's all different types of art.
Oh yeah, you see what they're going
working
in
on the
there.
kiln behind
Yeah.
us, so it's just a really
That's great.
Huge asset for this community.
Yeah, we love it. I mean, it's one of the reasons a lot of us are here.
Right.
Very definitely.
You know, one of the things I love about it is we have so much original art around here. Can you tell us how Spring Island got their art collection?
Oh yeah, actually you're right. As you walk around in our public buildings, we have a lot of beautiful pieces. In the Spring Island Trust Art Collection, there are about 165 pieces, and that all began with Betsy Chafin's early visiting artist program, because what we do when we bring a visiting artist is we provide their travel money, we provide food and lodging for them, and in exchange they leave us a gift of their artwork. And it may be something that they did while they were actually here on the island, or they may have gained inspiration from something they saw, and then they go away and, you know, a year later maybe something will show up for the collection. So it's great. It's a wonderful addition for everybody who comes to the island to go into any building and see some piece of artwork that is from somebody, you know, really wonderful.
Yeah, it's really incredible. They stay right over here in the...
They stay right over there in Little Cottage, that nice little 2-bedroom cottage. It's great for them because they can come in and work, and it's wonderful.
And I mentioned we kind of took a tour earlier before we started filming, and I noticed that there's some people in there that are, would say, expert level, and there's some that are kind of middle of the road, but then there was a couple of beginners in there as well. So I assume that's, you know, if you don't know how to do the arts, you can come here and learn.
And that's exactly, because a lot of people come here, you know, newly retired, for example, or getting ready to retire, and they think, I've never had time before, now I want to try and dig into something and learn. And we have workshops that are designed for people who are brand new. They're beginner workshops. Many of our workshops also just are taught for all levels of experience. And then we have member teaching member classes where people who are experienced, like I'm a pretty experienced clay person, where we'll have people come in and sort of help them get over the apprehensions of, oh my gosh, it's a new medium to me, what do I want to do? Because some of those people will never sign up for a workshop if we don't kind of break the ice for them. I mean, it really is.
I would imagine too, you can, if somebody's doing it for the first time, you may find a hidden talent that they never knew they had.
It is unbelievable what some of the people here on the island do. We have this wonderful event coming up. I can't remember, but we do it every 2 years. It's called the Showcase of Spring Island Artists, where we showcase all the talent on the island, and people come to see it and they are just amazed at what we produce. So it's a lot of fun, and it's great for a beginner who's been too busy to suddenly be able to encounter it. And we have one person who started painting 4 years ago, and she's fabulous now. I mean, she sells all over the place. She gets commissions. She's wonderful, and she teaches some of our member-to-member classes.
That's the amazing thing about art. If you don't ever put time into it, you don't know, A, if you like it, B, if you're good at it. So that's an amazing opportunity. But speaking of the events, what are some special features about having the workshops here?
We are really very fortunate in being able to do the workshops. We have a committee that selects those who are going to come and teach workshops from around the country. And probably the best thing about it is that they're wonderful instructors. But more importantly, our classes are really small so that you get a lot of personal attention. You really have time to ask that question, especially if you're a beginner. It's convenient. We don't have to
go anywhere.
Spend time and money to go away to do it, which some of us do anyway, but they're convenient here. But probably more than anything else, the thing that is the most fun about it is that you're learning with your friends. And then when the teacher is long gone, you still have somebody who's there that you can say, oh, I don't remember.
Because they always remember something that you don't remember.
Or you're a good note taker and they're not. And so from that time on, we really start sharing, which is what a lot of the collaboration that he filmed going on back in here is all about, is we all share ideas and can continue to explore whatever we learn, because a week-long workshop's only a week long.
Right.
Yeah, and you can tell they're really supporting each other in there too.
We do, and
really we're constructive criticism and
asking questions and saying, no, you really need to look at that, or oh my gosh, when we're unloading the kiln, we're always all looking at it going, God, what happened to that piece? Or, oh, look at that piece is just gorgeous, so you just don't know.
Yeah, and that's a big part of the equation, I'm sure. Is not only do you get to, learn a new skill, but you also make new friends.
You definitely make new friends. Allison
Absolutely.
and I probably would hardly know each other.
If it wasn't for Clay.
She lives on the other side of the island from me, but with Clay, we've gotten to know each other really well.
That's
so
great.
it's fun. That's part of what's lively about Spring Island. I mean, it really
it's very connected, which
Yes.
is wonderful.
Yes.
All right, well, make sure that you stay tuned because we'll be right back with more 843 TV.
Welcome back to 843 TV. We are now joined by Allison Crossman, who is the Clay Day Coordinator and Waterfall Farm Volunteer. How are you?
I'm fine.
Thanks for being here.
Well, thank you.
So tell us about the art program on Spring Island. It's been 25 years. What all does it include?
Well, it includes workshops in all different mediums. We have the Visiting Artist Program, which I think Lark had mentioned earlier. Visiting artists come in, they either do a workshop or they just have a retreat. What else does it have? We have lectures Thursday night with the Spring Island Trust. Usually it's an artist, sometimes it's somebody completely different. Workshops, and what else, Lark?
That's about it.
Yeah.
We have an art camp for adults.
That's cool.
Yeah, every now and then we do that.
And it seems like there's a wide variety of mediums too. I mean, I saw one guy had sculpted a bird out of one piece of wood.
Oh yeah.
And then you have,
We have photography group. We have even a stitching group, clay group, big painting group, photography. I think I said that.
Pretty much run the gamut on the arts.
Yeah, and I mean, even like Allison's side is weaving a basket, the Nantucket style basket. So we get a lot of workshops in.
The photography would be awesome out here with the setting.
It's amazing.
I
And there are
would love to see the
amazing
pictures.
results. Amazing results.
Well, last week I came by here and there must have been 25 or 30 people that they were in an iPhone photography class. A SCAD, wasn't it? It was a SCAD professor.
Yes, it was. He's head of the. He's a big shot at SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design. And they had a great time, and it was a form of photography, but done with your iPhone.
Well, the quality on these phones today, I mean, the quality of the pictures is unreal. It's
well, not mine. I have an iPhone 4.
You need to get updated.
I really, maybe that's coming for Christmas.
Well, this was from 9 to 4, 5 days. I mean, talk about intensive. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. You know, this is great. This is an art barn. This building is devoted specifically to the arts here. And could you tell us a little bit about the art barn, what it means to Spring Island, and then what type of workshops?
Well, it's
samples of different workshops that we've had.
The art barn's great because we can just go and set up, and I'm part of the clay group, but anybody really can go and set up when the 2 rooms are available. Studio B behind us is available a lot, and so we can we go and we can set up and we can work as long as we want. Come in and out. It's an open setting. Anybody can come in. People can come in and just watch. Artists do what they want to do and what they're up to. All different mediums take place here, so it's a great area to have, a great space to have. Just because we can be as messy as we want to be, and sometimes we don't want to be too messy at home. Yes, we do clean it up. We're very good about that. Very good about that.
What other type of workshops have y'all had here recently, other than photography?
Recently, well,
oil painting.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Yeah, we have a great clay one coming up.
Yeah, a great clay one coming up. We've had firing, different kiln firing workshops, a lot of painting workshops, watercolor. I'm not sure about the photography if they've had besides the iPhone thing.
Yeah, for this year.
Yeah, that's for this year. So,
well, I'm sorry. Like on Thursday nights, can you tell us about what goes on Thursday nights when you have a lecture here?
Well, that's the Spring Island Trust Trust Talks, and it can be it can be art history. It could be somebody who's talking about any of the nature. Whether it's a guy that's coming down from Charleston about clean water, and but a lot of times it is the visiting artist that comes in. Slides. It's a fun social event to begin with, but they might bring in slides of their work. They also get to display their work, sell their work, and that's. I'm not sure if it's every Thursday night, but it's most Thursday nights during the year.
So how are the focus groups different from, say, lectures and workshops?
The focus groups are great. Like, for instance, for the clay, which is what I do, when Studio B is available, we can just go and set up. What's nice is that someone who's never done clay and is very shy to take a workshop, which, involves a famous artist or whatever, they can come in and just get their hands wet and just,
take baby steps.
Take baby steps, and then Lark is often there, and she's very knowledgeable about all clay, everything clay, and so they get sort of helped by the rest of us who are in there working, doing our own thing, and it's a comfort zone for them. So we encourage beginners. We want the people to come in, test it out.
There's a certain amount of vulnerability whenever you're doing artistic things, especially because there's not a really right or wrong way to do something. It's all from your own perspective.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That I could understand why that would be a lot more comfortable to a newbie as opposed to jumping right back in there with somebody that does that for a living.
And a lot of really experienced people who have signed up, and they're sort of feeling,
that could be intimidating.
So.
Well, real quickly, you're the coordinator of the clay here, the clay groups. Tell us about Clay Day. We heard a little bit about that.
Well, that's what we were just discussing. It's open to anyone. For the clay, we tend to have a lot of very heavy materials, so it's nice for us to come in, set up a table until we have to clear out, which might be because a workshop is coming in. Mm-hmm. But we can just do our work here as opposed to at home or whatever, and it's just nice. I mean, I've learned everything from going to Clay Days that I know. maybe isn't a whole lot, but, you know. but I've learned everything from being at the Clay Days, because everybody's there. It's a big support group.
And then the clay, I'm sure, is a part of the art shows and everything that Lark was
Oh,
mentioning.
yes, of course. We would not let that be, absolutely.
All right.
Well, I'm sure it's really nice to have that in here, because my girls had all that out at Mimi's, because I would not let it in my house. So I'm sure it'd be very nice to have all that in here
Yeah,
and then clean it up
is.
and go on about your day.
It is. Well, we can leave it for 2 or 3 weeks if this room is available,
and then come back.
which is really nice.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks for visiting with us. We
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
it.
I
you.
wanna do
I'm glad
Play
you're
Day.
here. Yeah, you do.
Well, make sure that you come right back, because we have more 843 TV. Welcome back to 843 TV. We're here now with Mr. John Strother. He is the broker in charge at Spring Island Realty. So this segment of the show is going to highlight the amazing real estate here, which is not a hard thing to do.
No, a lot of that.
But tell everybody about the home site. We're going to do a home site and a home feature. So the first one is lot 32 on 140 Spring Island Drive. Tell everybody about that.
That's one of my favorites. You know, the home sites here at Spring Island, they go from 1/3 of an acre to 25 acres. And
It's a big spread.
it is a huge spread. And this one's right in the middle. It's 13.5 acres. It's an equestrian lot, and we only have 10 of those here on Spring Island. So the owners this past year did a lot of clearing, site improvement, brought in a lot of fill dirt, put in irrigations. So they cleared off about 10 acres of this equestrian site, sodded it. It's beautiful. Got some gorgeous trees in there, some hardwood trees. But there was a caretaker's cottage there also. It was in a state of disrepair. And they moved it and restored it, put heat and air conditioning in it, and made it a little artist,
Neat.
like a studio.
A little artist studio.
It's adorable. And so that goes with the home site. And, you know, she goes up there and paints every day. And there's a site for the house and a site for the stables, and it could just be a beautiful site for somebody. It's priced at $450,000, and just a great value. You know, just a really
You can have the best of all of your worlds, because you literally would not have to leave your house if you had all
you
that in
wouldn't.
your backyard.
Yeah, I know exactly, including a horse, like one of them over there.
So the home feature, I hear, is spectacular. Lot 4 at 4 Pinckney Place. Tell us about that.
That's one of my favorites around here. It's a newer home. It's about 5 years old. It just won Best Home, Best Overall Home, Best Kitchen, Best Bath, Lighthouse Awards in 2014.
Wow.
It's right on.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby, I know.
Especially in this competitive community.
To win all of
Yeah,
those, I
and
can only
that's
imagine.
Area wide, so it's just a gorgeous home. You walk in, it's open 11-foot ceilings. It's right on Kalawasi Creek. There's a deep water dock out there, and from the screen-in porch, it has a huge screen-in porch with a dining area, sitting area, and then you could have like a hanging bed or a swinging bed out there. It'd be a great place for naps. But you can see pods of dolphin going by, schools of fish. It's just incredible. There's a dock that goes with the house. I think it's 4 or 5 bedrooms. The baths are incredible. It was built by Yes Tomorrow, Ken Troop, and he did just a fantastic job with this home. It's a historically accurate home. The kitchen, one of the favorite things in the kitchen is you go in there and the ceilings are very high. They're 11 feet. Cabinets go all the way up to the ceiling, so they're too
wow.
high to reach. So there's a library ladder in there that
That's
you
cool.
can just roll around in there. I just
My
love
girls
that feature.
would have a heyday with a library ladder.
I know, they'd be climbing up,
That'd be
falling
kind of
off.
dangerous.
Exactly.
But what's nice, I think, also, John, is that it is so close to all the amenities, the tennis court, the swimming pool, the dining, river house. And I think that's really fun. She can walk everywhere.
I know.
Which is great.
Yeah, it's just amazing. I know, you know, they go over in the mornings to read the paper at the gathering room, have drinks in the evenings there, work out at the fitness center. It's all right next
all
door.
right there.
Downtown Spring Island.
Yeah, and she even has that beautiful little garden shed that's there as part of the landscaping that I guess she turned into something else, but it's a wonderful little building that just adds to the whole ambiance of the
Oh, I know. You walk into this little courtyard, and the garden shed's right over to the right. It's just, yeah, it's really picturesque. It's like a little fairy tale world. Yeah.
That's the cool thing about Spring Island too is all these amenities are not far. But if there's one specific amenity that you like more than others, like equestrian for the lot, or the golf course lots we talked about last time we were here, you could live right there next to your passion, but still have all these other things that are really close to you anyway.
Yeah, in the kind of house that you want, because one of the great things, I was talking to an architect yesterday, and he was saying one of the great things about Spring Island is that you can express yourself through the home. No two homes are alike.
That's probably one of my favorite features about being out here.
Yeah.
I know I say that every single time, but it's the best of all the worlds. You have deep water docks, you've got fishing, you've got hunting, you have horses, you have golf, you have art, and it's all on a very small circumference, which is amazing. And then you can't even see your neighbors.
That's what some of us like best.
It's like heaven.
I know, everybody spends so much and expresses himself so much through their homes, and then we have the privacy curtains around there, so you can only be
And
invited
every
in to
home
see
looks
it.
different, and they all have their own little personalities, and I love it for what it's worth.
So you had an open house recently you were telling us about. How did that go?
Oh, that was fantastic. We had a huge turnout. It was on a Sunday. We just had it for a few hours, and went a little over 20 homes on a tour. And it seemed the whole island turned out for it. What we wanted to do is, because it's so hard to see homes here,
Right.
and they're all so unique, is to get the members to come in, see the homes, so that they can tell their friends, number one, hey, you should come down and look at this. This is a great buy. This is a beautiful home. This is a great cottage. This great waterfront property, whatever it is. And we also have a lot of members who are looking to come from a larger home now and move into a smaller home. We're in that transition period for them. So it was a big success. We got a lot of referrals from that, a lot of excitement, and some offers on some homes also. So
I think that's a great idea because all of these homes are so different. There's absolutely nothing cookie cutter about this island at all. So I can imagine that every single house you go to is completely different on the inside.
Yeah, it really is.
Sorry, I
and
missed
you can go. Yeah.
Well, it's always such a pleasure to be here. Thank you for hosting us again this week.
Well, we love having you here.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for watching 843 TV.
Where communities come to speak.